Yeah! Yeah, baby! 1 week until Scream. Who cares about introductions? 1 week until Scream. 1 week until a new Scream movie. You can't say that all the time. You can't say that. I can't say that tomorrow. It'll be 6 days then. I'm so excited. I don't even know. I'm so excited. Words don't even make any sense anymore to me. Anyways, welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. I'm your host as always, Jack. Just Jack. Killjoy Jack today. Who cares? What are we, a minute 30 into this? I don't give a shit. Fuck it. Anyways, welcome, everybody. Welcome. I have Master Chaos joining me today. Can't wait for that. Make sure you subscribe to his page if you guys have not. He also talks about Scream sometimes, so I'm excited to have him on. Just want to say a quick hello to everybody real quick. What's up, Tori? How's it going? Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm having a fantastic day. Same to all of you. Welcome. That sounded scary is here too, saying, what's going on, Killjoy fam? We got so much to discuss. I know. Oh, I can't wait. I'm really pumped. Master Chaos is just telling me he hasn't been super in the loop with Scream 6, so I'm really pumped to kind of go over everything. Just all the fun stuff we've been talking about for, what, a year now? A year now. It's crazy. The year flew by since the 5th one. My Chunky Jordy's here. What's up? Welcome. Hawkins House of Horror is here. Hello. Welcome. Kermit, hello. Jugya. Soft J, maybe. Like in yogging. Jogging, it's a new fad. You guys know what I'm talking about. Tori, I already said hello to you. What's up? Wrestling God is here. It all about the red right hand. Hell yeah. Welcome. Jem is here. 1 week till Scream 6. Woo! I'm excited. It's me. I'm the one who's excited. You probably are too, but I'm very excited. Anakin's here, doing a little quoting. Love it. Welcome. That's what she said is here. What's up? Gotta give it to him. All right, let's put the chill music on, and so that Master Chaos doesn't have to sit in the in the background anymore. Let's bring him out here, everybody. Master Chaos TV, what's going on, my dude? How's it hanging?
My brother, I'm happy to be back and enjoying a little Scream with all of you.
Ooh, what's
Delicious.
that tasty little treat there?
Well, this is whiskey and Coke. I felt it was the most Ghostface drink to have at the moment. We're literally, a week, less than a week if you count Thursday. I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting and it's scary and pins and needles over here. And like I was telling you, I've stayed off the radar. I mean, I've seen the trailers and things like that, but I purposefully haven't been watching, theory videos and all this stuff because you never know what's gonna pop up. And then somebody said something about the killer getting leaked at one point. I'm like, oh god dang it, I'm out of here. So it's been to quote the directors, radio silence on my end, but I reached out to you like, man, we're so close. I want to discuss Scream with you. It's been a long time, so thank you for having me, sir.
Absolutely, man. I'm so jealous of that glass, I gotta say. That's the coolest looking glass I've ever seen.
I think this was when part 2 came out. It was at Party City, so you may be able to find it on eBay. I don't know.
I dig it, man. It's awesome. Hell yeah. Sarah's putting the link to Master Chaos's channel in the chat, by the way, so make sure go subscribe. Go check out his page.
Please do.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. So, is there anything in particular? You're a fresh take on Scream 6 because you haven't been keeping up with it all that much. Is there anything that you've seen that you're just like you're super fascinated in, like just something that you're like, I wonder how this is gonna play out in the film?
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, there's a couple things. If you remember, I was very, very pessimistic about Scream 6 at first.
Yes.
I'm like, I hope they don't call it Scream 2 or Scream exclamation points or whatever. Then I saw the official full trailer, and I gotta be honest, it was one of my favorite Scream trailers ever. I loved it. I thought it was really, really great. You got my buddy Ghostface kicking ass in all sorts of different ways. I was really impressed. I think the movie won me over. And I think in a way, I think it would retroactively improve my opinion of 5, which I liked enough, but I'm on the fence as to whether I think it's necessary. But I think if 6 nails it, then they could make 5 even better. And in retrospect, one of my favorite in the series, 4, is now so integral to this franchise going forward that you have to like 4. I'm sorry guys who don't like 4. You have to now, because it's so integral to 5 and 6, and who knows going forward. But the trailer changed my mind quite a bit, and I'm even more excited than I think I was for 5, to be honest.
I totally agree. I think I'm even more excited for this one. This feels like a new animal. This feels like a new beast we're dealing with here, opposed to 5 that it kind of just felt like more of the same. You know, I feel like this is going to be a fresh take on a similar idea, you know?
Yeah, and I love like somebody just mentioned in the chat, the Demi Lovato music video. You know, Ghostface gets his James Bond song. You know, I love that. It's
Hell yeah.
You know, it's a catchy song, and I love that. And the marketing is just insanely genius. These guys are marketing the hell out of this movie in such a perfect way. No other horror movie is getting the marketing that Scream is getting, and it's phenomenal. I mean, it's so good. So there's a couple things. If we look at it cynically, the movie's not great, but they really want the opening weekend to be huge, so they're going to market the shit out of it. That's why it's in 3D. That's why it's in 4DX, whatever, all this stuff. With 3D, I mean, that's another thing. Like, wait, 3D? That's awesome. That you know, even if the movie sucks, you get to see Ghostface in 3D. That's cool. But, you know, cynically, I think, well, does that mean that the movie's not great and they just really want to front load that first weekend? Or they love the movie so much that they're just making sure people know about it because they want to go see it? It's sort of up in the air right now. What do you think about that?
It's a tough situation. Are they like, here's my thing about the crazy marketing, right? Like, you're right, it's insane. Is it just glaze on a shit sandwich though, or is it like, are we really hyping up what is like one of the best Scream sequels? Here's my thing about that. Consistently with Radio Silence. Now, you know, I'm not in the business like how you are, but what I've noticed with Radio Silence, their movies, if you go back and watch a lot of the marketing with all of them, consistently, it all has this super experimental, crazy, kind of outlandish marketing with their movies. Like, if we go back to the one about the demon baby, which I completely forgot the name of, but like, they made this found footage demon baby movie, essentially. You probably, maybe you know the name of it. I don't. I can't remember.
Devil's Due, is that what it's called?
Yes, Devil's Due, that's it.
Yeah.
Go back and look up the marketing for that. They had this little like baby that would like pop out of a cab, and it was like a demon looking baby, and it would like scare people. And it was for marketing for this movie. It was, I know, like they've been doing shit like this since like 2014 when that movie came out. They've been doing things for all their different movies that have come out. All these different crazy marketing tactics. And that's why I'm like, I think this is just somehow these directors have some kind of influence over the marketing team. Like, to me, those are two separate entities in my head, but maybe that's not always the case. I don't know. You know, I haven't worked on a big feature film like that, so I wouldn't know.
Usually what happens is, even at like my level, marketing will ask the director, hey, how would you have any ideas for marketing? And then they'll suggest things. But for the most part, it's sort of left, the marketing just handles that, and the directors are handling post or whatever. But I've got to imagine that they're like, hey, why don't we do this? We have to have character posters. You know, we should have a guy dress up as Ghostface and do like, you know, have him stand in locations. Like, that was great. That's amazing. That puts it on people's radar that weren't really, that maybe they didn't see the trailer, but they heard about that. There's Ghostface on dash cam. Oh wait, there's a new Ghostface movie. That's the kind of marketing that I think is really genius. It's stuff that goes beyond posters at the theater and things like that. It's the really genius stuff. And I mean, if you tell me they did that baby thing for their smaller movie, then 100% they probably had a hand in this.
Right, and that's why I don't think that it's just, like I was saying, that's why I don't feel like it's just a sugar coat on a shit sandwich. I feel like that they're actually promoting what is a good movie. And if it was, if it was any different, I'd totally agree with you. Like, if this was just like, oh, this is just a big budget continuation to a popular horror movie from the 90s, 70s, 80s, whatever, Yeah, okay, different story. Then that would be I think that's a bigger conversation. But I'm like, I just think Radio Silence is really good at marketing their movies. I think they just have crazy ideas that always seem to hit. Even with 5, dude, like the Airbnb stuff at Stu's house.
Yeah.
They had that TikTok account that was like posting all these like behind the scenes lore videos. It was really cool. It was really cool stuff. And they've consistently done that now for both 5 and this movie. I would even go so far as to say the 6 marketing is even better.
Absolutely. As an example from a recent movie, let's look at Halloween Ends. That trailer didn't show any Corey Cunningham because they knew, man. They freaking knew that they were gonna pull the wool over our eyes. You know, they were gonna trick us. That's why there was no. If the trailer was Corey Cunningham getting beat up, and then at least we would be prepared, right? They freaking knew. So that marketing was deceptive. But where in this case, I don't think they're being deceptive. I mean, I know these guys are Scream fans, so I think they're like, guys, we're gonna give you the most brutal Scream we've ever made. It's gonna be in New York. It's gonna be a lot of fun, or New York.
Montreal, New York, same thing. You know,
Montreal. Yeah. Just a reach, right? I don't know. I guess we'll see. But you know, I genuinely think that this is gonna be a solid ass movie, and I think we're all gonna be crushed if we walk out and there's a Corey Cunningham situation where it's like they literally, to borrow a term from Haig, the great Sid Haig from House of a Thousand Corpses, they shit the bed, and I hope they don't do that.
Yeah, we don't want any shit in no beds, man. That's not how we do things around here. No, 100. I totally agree though, man. No. And another thing that I wish I could agree with you on, but unfortunately it's my job. Hollywood Guys spitting it here, throwing $5 out there. I really appreciate that. Saying, hello, Jake. I agree with Master Chaos. Once the leak hit, I've been in hiding. No more theory videos for me. Dude, listen, I would be in the same, if I wasn't, this wasn't my job, I would not be on social media. Like the moment I heard about that, I was like so frustrated. I'm like, I really don't want this one spoiled, but like, this is this is what I do. It's my whole thing. Luckily I haven't gotten it spoiled yet. I've been very cautious. I don't go.
Okay.
Well, no, what were you gonna say?
You didn't see what it was.
Nope.
You didn't see what okay.
Thankfully not yet. Thankfully not. We still got a week. We still got a week until this thing comes out, but I got my fingers crossed that I don't see nothing. But yeah, I've been staying away from it as much as physically possible. And yeah, I get it. If you're not going anywhere near YouTube, social media, trust me, I respect it. But Hollywood Guy, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. So with all, and one more super chat here from Alex. Thank you so much for the $5. Also talking about Demi Lovato's new single. Saying, in honor of Demi's new single, what is your favorite Scream end credit song? The original is a classic, but I have a soft spot for Fall Out of Love. Master Chaos, do you have a take on this?
Man, I'm gonna go with 4. I love the entire soundtrack for 4, and I love the kind of the punk energy of the way 4 goes out. So I'm gonna go with 4.
I was gonna say 4 too. I love the song that plays, like, I can't remember the name of it, but the song that plays like right after the opening scene, and you get like just entrance into Woodsboro. You see all the ghost faces on the lights and stuff. I love that. That's a killer song, and I love the end credits song on 4 too.
Yes.
Yeah. Great choice though, man. Great choice. I'm really excited. I actually kind of listen. You can make fun of me all you want, but I kind of like the Demi Lovato song. I'm kind of digging it.
I like it too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Actually, me and my daughter just like listened to it on repeat while I was picking her up from school. We loved it. Dude. That was great.
Yeah, it's a good song. I like it. So it's gonna be cool. It's good stuff. Alex, thanks for the $5. I really appreciate the support. But I did want to hit on something the last time we talked about Scream 6, and like you said, you were a little more pessimistic. Seems like maybe you're coming around to it a bit. How are you feeling about the no Sydney thing now? Because I remember that was a big thing we talked about like last time. Was the no Sydney, no Scream? Was your stance on it? Has that changed? I'm just curious. I'm curious how you feel about it now.
I think, I guess it has. I think what happened is I think I've just accepted that the franchise is changing. For me, the Scream franchise has been the Sidney Prescott story. but the franchise is changing, and I like the Ghostface character, whatever you want to call it, the icon. So I think I just kind of have to accept it. But if 6 shits the bed, then I'm gonna go back and say, yeah, no, without Sydney, this movie does not work. Kind of like what I'm hearing with Creed 3. People are saying without Rocky, this doesn't work. So I don't know. Well, it remains to be seen. If the movie's solid, I mean, at least we got Gale. If it was nobody, then and Kirby, if it didn't have anybody, then I'd be really like, what are we doing? This feels like the TV show. This is unnecessary. But the chance that maybe she'll come back in 7, fingers crossed. If they, I mean, like we talked about before, if they do a cliffhanger ending with this one, and then Sydney comes in the 7th one, and we can kind of wrap it up or whatever, then okay, I'm okay with her missing one entry, because in the grand scheme of thing, I'm looking at, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise has so many different characters and so many different moving parts, and they all sort of work together. The same with Jason. So I guess I'm gonna allow Scream to do that as long as the movies are good. So, I guess to answer your question, I have accepted that Sydney's not back, but it still hurts, and a part of me will always consider this movie an Elseworld, multiverse movie, unless they find a way to tie it in a genius way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do feel you there. It feels weird not seeing Sydney at all. You know what I mean? Like, even watching that, like, I'm hyped. Like, I'm super pumped for this movie, but watching the trailers, seeing that first teaser, it was just a little weird without Sydney. I was like, oh man, I'm already starting to feel I miss Neve Campbell so much with this movie, and I haven't even seen the film yet. So I do think her presence is going to be, you're going to feel a bit of a void with this movie, just initially. But I haven't even, once again, haven't seen it. I know pretty much nothing about the actual film, but I do feel like there's already this void. There's already just something that you're not going to be able to fill unless Neve Campbell is present. And I do think she could come back for 7. That is if 7 happens. We got even more news that Radio Silence has yet another project they're now attached to direct at some point in the future. So who knows if 7 is going to happen or not. I hope so. But as of right now, it's not, I don't know, pretty on the fence about if that happens or not. But I think it should. I think it should. I'm glad that you're a little more open to this movie, though. That makes me happy. Because I remember you were just like, no way. Like, without Sydney, no way,
Yeah. Well, the trailer, again, it really won me over, man.
And it's got to be good. I agree with you there. It's got to be good, or what the fuck are we doing? But yeah, great trailer, great marketing so far, man. I think we got something special on our hands. Jalen's throw. Hopefully, yeah, right. Hopefully, we can only hope for now. In a week we'll know. Jalen's throwing 5 in there. Thank you, Jalen. I appreciate that. Also, a Killjoy cult member. Thank you so much. Thanks for drinking the Kool-Aid. Saying, hello. I get to see the movie in 3 days. I'm so jealous. At the premiere, and I couldn't be more excited. What?
Wow.
Take me with you, Jalen.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, enjoy it while we all sit here and cry in our corners. Damn, dude. Really curious to see the social reactions tonight. Yes, that's tonight. Kind of our first big reactions to the movie.
I was kind of like scrolling through Twitter just real briefly to see if anything come up. But I haven't seen anything so far. But yeah, it's tonight. Tonight we'll have our first peeks, and again, we've all seen the initial social reactions are usually positive. I don't think I've ever heard anyone go, "Oh, this is a total piece of garbage. Don't go watch this." I'd be really surprised, because even Halloween Ends had good social reactions. Most people didn't say, "You're not gonna believe this," but it's not about Michael Myers. Most people were like, "Oh, cool, they did it again." So who knows?
That is a good point. It's not. Yeah, I want to see the real, like, a week from now. What those reviews are looking like, opposed to what we're gonna get tonight. So that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm still just excited to see what people are raving about, though. I think that is going to be telling for the movie, because even to your point with Halloween Ends, I remember people saying, like, oh, this is kind of like the producer's cut of Halloween 6 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is something different. And I'm like, yeah, it's something different, but it completely throws out the story that's been set up through the past 2 movies. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I see why that was praised, but I don't see the point in making that movie, though. But yeah, so I guess I'm just really excited to see what the big overall reaction to the movie is. What stands out, what people are immediately talking about once they see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. I mean, and maybe there'll be hints in there. They said, oh my God, oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Tara, her real name.
Jenna Ortega.
Oh my God. Jenna Ortega. Holy crap. It must be the whiskey. Oh my God, Jenna Ortega was amazing. She steals the movie. Then it's almost a no-brainer that she might be the killer if they say things like that. I don't know. So it's just gotta be careful how things are worded. If you're doing a social reaction, you got to make sure to tiptoe around things. And if they don't mention a certain character, like, well, that character probably didn't do anything. So, yeah.
Right.
So when you look at those, just be careful what you read because it may give things away. We didn't have to worry about this. I was there opening night for the first one. We didn't have to worry about that when the second one came out, except because I wasn't even online, but I know the second one got leaked. I wasn't online at the time, but the fandom and the magazines and the scoopers and all that, and the leakers, that wasn't really as big a deal as it is now. And it's tough to be a fan nowadays, man, because it's hard. It's hard to hide from this shit.
I know, and there's so much exciting stuff that I want to click on that I just shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, dude, just scrolling today, I'm like looking at all these videos people are posting. There's like all this shit. Cinemark's releasing shit left and right. If it's a Ghostface cup, Ghostface popcorn thing, I'm like, I want to buy all this stuff, and I want to get the movie spoiled for me. Apparently, and with all the shit that's being recommended to me, I'm like, fuck. It's tough, man.
I grabbed the shit. Yeah, I grabbed the hell out of that popcorn bucket and the little sipper guys. I had to get it.
It's so cute.
I got a wine for that. I had to get it.
Had to do it, man. I trust me. I get it, man. It's cute shit. Jalen, thank you for the $5 though. I really appreciate the support. Real good stuff. So with the movie, do you have an idea of like what the cast looks like for Scream 6?
I do. I've looked at the cast. I think it's a great cast. Dermot Mulroney is an awesome actor, so he's a good addition to the cast. Who knows where he'll end up at the end of the movie, but I think he's fantastic. And all the young kids, I don't really know them too well. I haven't seen them in anything else. I'm not sure if they've done other things. But yeah, oh wait, isn't there one kid Spider in it? The guy from Avatar 2? Isn't he in this?
Yeah. Yep, yeah. He's Jack Champion. He's also in this. He's kind of on my radar for killer options, honestly. As silly as that may sound. So honest to God, the only thing I have to go off of that is his character poster that got released. He kind of gives me young who's the guy that plays Jeffrey Dahmer in that series?
Oh, yeah, I know oh God, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. But I could see that.
He gives me those vibes from this picture. I don't know. So I mean, that's not, they're all looking kind of suspicious in these character posters. Who knows, But like that one, I don't know, man. Like I just don't trust that. I don't trust that cold stare he's giving me there.
They gotta get you somehow, man. They gotta hook you in and make you suspect everybody. And that's another thing. I want there to not be one killer, two killers, 3, 5. Man, I mean, well, I'm not gonna spoil another movie because that's such a good movie. Go see April Fool's Day. Great slasher movie from the 80s. One of the best twists in horror movies. Something like that. Where, well, I'm not gonna give it away. But anyway, more than one Ghostface is exciting, and then maybe one survives. Evan Peters, yes, thank you. Somebody in the chat, Evan Peters.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I want them to do as goofy, once again, goofy as it is. Maybe we're in fan fiction territory by saying this, but I just love the idea of a cult of ghost faces. Like, it's not like a religious thing. It's just a bunch of people that either love horror movies and they've all come together to start killing people. Like, I think that idea, I would love to see that actualized in like a Scream trilogy. And if this could be the kind of the inklings of that, the start to building up to something in a future 7 or something, I think that would be really cool. And once again, plays right into that. You could have 4 or 5 ghost faces, and it would make sense. It's like they all got together to just start murdering people, start living out their movie fantasies, essentially.
Right, and I think that's what's kind of exciting about this one, because I mean, the moment in the trailer where you see the shrine, that gave me goosebumps. I'm like, oh my god, that's a genius move, because now they're building the fan trilogy. From 5 into 6 and 7. There's this whole, like you said, like underground group of serial killers. Like, oh, dude, let's make a real life stab movie. Genius. So genius. And I love the fact that there's this like reverence for the real events. That is, I think that's really, really great. And if they don't botch it with weird, character moments, or it's all about the ending. If it comes to the ending, like none of this makes sense, then everything they've set up will fall apart. But
yeah,
they've got really great ingredients.
I agree. There's a lot of really there's so much weird shit going on that has me so intrigued. If it's the shrine, if it's Ghostface killing people on a crowded subway, I have there's so many little scenes that I'm like, this could be great. Like, this could be an iconic Scream chase scene. This could be an iconic Ghostface kill that we talk about for like a long time from now. That's just like one of the biggest peaks of the franchise. I really want that for this movie. I've been saying for a bit now that I just want this film to feel like the dark version of Scream, which has always been a little more on the campy side, and I enjoy that. I love it. The original film's a masterpiece, I think. But now I kind of want to see the franchise, once again, like you said, I want to see the franchise grow and try something new and kind of evolve into something else now.
I agree. I think I think 5, we could say sort of played it too safe by essentially remaking the first one, but that was sort of baked into the plot. That was the point. Exactly. I think this one, they said, oh, we're going to go, I forget what the exact wording was, but the director said, all bets are off or whatever. We're going to go off the rails. And I want them to deliver on that. But not Corey Cunningham. Don't go in that direction.
Yeah. Like, I don't want that. Yeah, you bring up a great point, though, because like I don't want them to lose the DNA of the franchise, like what makes Scream Scream, because that's what Halloween Ends goes too far. It's just its own movie, it's its own thing, and it's not even Halloween anymore. It's just about basically the kid from Christine, and David Gordon Green just wanted to remake Christine, essentially, is how I feel about that movie. But here, they got, keep the DNA of Scream, make it Scream, but just turn that darkness knob up a little bit, and maybe the camp down just a smidge, That's what I want to see. I don't want them to I don't want them to give us Evil Dead. You know what I mean? Don't give us Evil Dead here in the 6th Scream installment. Give me Scream, but just make it a little darker. Turn that knob up a little bit if you can. AJ's throwing $20 out there. Holy crap, man. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. That's a big super chat. Saying, hey, Killjoy Jake, I finally caught the live stream, so I'm going to bless your pockets. Thank you. What social commentary do you think this Scream could tap into? And who of the newbies are you most afraid to see die in this movie? Great question. Master Chaos, do you want to go through that first question there? Do you think that this movie is going to tap into any kind of commentary, if it's social commentary, meta horror commentary, anything at all?
I think I've heard you speak on this, that this one feels like the least meta, at least from the trailers and the setup. And I agree with that. I think maybe they're not going to necessarily say, oh, this is like remakes or whatever the hell. I mean, we've done remakes and requels and all that. I think maybe this is just going to be pure revenge, or I don't know. I have no idea what the motives are. So I don't know. It's up in the air what the social commentary is. But in terms of the newbies, kill them all. I mean, I don't care at this point. Yeah, hell yeah. I want Ghostface to take them all out. That's what I'm here for. I don't want to see people survive. Like, kill Chad, kill Mindy, sure, but I mean, don't kill everybody, because you want to have a 7th one and feel like we're building to something. At least that's the hope, anyway.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards that. We had 6 survivors of the last movie, 8 kills, including the killers. So the killers only got like 6 kills. I don't know, man. After that, I'm just like, dude, we gotta step it up. I want to see Ghostface step up his game here. He or she is promising us that they're different. be different, get more kills, be more vicious. I think we've already seen some of that teased to us in the trailer too, which has me excited. I really think this is going to be something special, but I gotta see it first. You can market a movie real well and make me think it's going to be awesome, like Halloween Ends, and then get disappointed. So I'm so sorry. I know there's a lot of people that love that movie, but that was just such a disappointment for me personally. But anyways, I do agree with you. I don't think that there's necessarily going to be a big like movie topic that they're going to play into, like how the last one like heavily focused on like requels. Like I don't know if that's going to be really present here. Maybe like little instances of social commentary. Like I feel like the gun scene in and of itself is commentary. That I could see that being really subtle in a scene like that. I don't think there's going to be like a wide topic that this movie, like it just constantly throwing points about the whole movie, like how most Scream films do. Like I think Scream 4, Scream 5, and the original do a really good job at that. If they're talking about what, their respective commentaries, I don't think that's going to be present here, and it's going to be weird. But it might be a necessary change, because I don't know if there's a really big topic that Scream could cover right now that they haven't already done in the last one, if that makes sense.
Oh no, absolutely. And look at the trailers. Go back to, the trailer for Scream 2 was Randy breaking down the rules. 3 essentially had the same feel, 4 had the same feel, even 5 mentioned requels. This one has no talk about movies and things like that. It's all, hey, somebody's trying to kill us, let's run away. So I think that's exactly what it's going to be. I think it's just going to be a run and gun, slasher movie, and we're just gonna live in the world of this Ghostface fandom. The people who worship Billy and Stu and everybody else, and so I think that's, in a way, I'm kind of okay with that. I think that's fine, but I don't want the movie to just kind of become, your typical slasher movie then, because that's what made Scream different, is the movie stuff.
And I think they'll still have that, but I don't think it'll necessarily be like commentary, if that makes sense. Like I think they'll, like we already saw in the teaser trailer, for instance, like a good portion of this movie is going to take place on Halloween night in New York City. We see people dressed up in various different horror costumes, like monsters. There's a Pinhead, there's a Jason, there's a Chucky, there's the girl from Ready or Not too, which is a great little Easter egg. I think that's how we're going to do the commentary in this one. It's going to be little visual cues, maybe little lines of dialogue, just simply talking about other horror movies. But I don't think it's going to resort just to, this is just a regular slasher with Ghostface now, because that's going against what I was talking about. That's not, that you're losing your DNA at that point. That's not Scream anymore. That's just scary movie. You know what I mean? To a degree. So I hope they don't lose that. I hope there is still just a little bit of movie talk in the movie to once again just keep where they came from present in this new direction. But also,
I agree with that.
Yeah. With that last second part of this though, is there any of these new characters, and I know you want them all to die, but is there any of them that maybe you have a little emotion for that you're like, this one should stay alive,
I don't know, man. I gotta get to know them. Obviously, I'm not gonna. She's not a newbie, but I really hope Kirby is the new Dewey, and they continue, and she survives, and she goes on. Especially if they kill Gale. I mean, I'm okay, honestly, if we lose Gale. Sydney is the one you cannot touch. And here's the one thing that I've told everybody: if the movie kills Sydney off screen, done. I don't want anything to do with this. You can't do that. That's the ultimate disrespect, man. That would not work for me.
That's awful, man. I mean, they tried to do that with Halloween, and look where that got them. You know what I mean? Like it's it's horrible. It's just not a good decision. Why kill a character like that if you don't have to? No. But dear God, don't kill Sidney Prescott, and don't kill her off screen. Like if you're gonna have some balls if you're gonna kill Sidney Prescott. You know what I mean? If you're gonna make that ludicrous decision, do it on screen. Like I know that sounds awful. I don't want it to happen at all. But if you're gonna do it, at least show it to us. I pretty much agree with you, though, in saying that I want a lot of people to die in this. I want this to be a darker movie. I still want it to be a slasher movie. You know what I mean? I still want to see a lot of people die. Mm-hmm. But if there's any one of the newbies that I'm just a big defender of personally, that I really want to see live through this, it's Sam. And maybe that's a hot take, but I really think Sam has a lot of potential as a character. I know a lot of people didn't like her in the last movie. Her performance was a little weird. I think that's like the more I've watched the film, the more I've realized I'm like, she's just doing a Billy Loomis impression. Like she's trying to be a female Billy Loomis essentially. And I get it a little more, but I think they're going to lean off of that, I think, a bit in this film. To give her a little more character, make her a little less sociopathic, maybe establish her a bit more as a final girl, essentially, opposed to just, I'm Billy Loomis's daughter, I'm acting exactly the same as him. But that's my take on it. I want her to live. I feel like that's where the story is now. If anybody else dies, yeah, you know, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, I think for sure the sisters will live. However, and I'm sure you've discussed this, in the trailer we get a very suspicious look at Tara, where it's like, come on, bro, that's a killer look right there. There's no way that's a normal look you would give somebody if they're like, it looks like she's hanging or something. I don't know. I don't know. That's the kind of look that a bloodthirsty butcher would give somebody. So what are your thoughts on that, man? Because I'm curious what you think about that look she gives in the trailer.
So I really think it's misdirection, because like, dude, trust me, I've looked at that shot, like, so I've looked at it and I'm like thinking about the implications of that situation. I'm just like, there's no, like, she just can't be the killer. You know, I don't think they would make Tara the killer in this movie, because like with everything they set up in the last film, like she's dependent on her inhaler. She gets almost completely eviscerated by Ghostface in the opening scene of the last movie, but survives miraculously. I don't think after all of that she would go Ghostface personally, but I totally love the misdirection in the trailer, because I think there's a lot of it. I don't think Mindy dies in the subway, and I don't think that Tara's Ghostface. And I think the trailers and teaser trailers really want you to believe that. But as of right now, I think it's a fake out. I think they were just like, we want to fuck with people, and we want you to think that there's going to be a scene where Sam is possibly about to kill her sister because she figured out that she's Ghostface. But I think there's more to it than that. I think there's more to the scene, more to the reveal. I don't know. I can't see Jenna Ortega being Ghostface, I guess.
Yeah, yes, I agree. It wouldn't make logical sense, but this feels like a Hollywood decision. You know what would ruin this movie? I'll tell you right now. If it comes to the end, we find out she's a Ghostface, and she was in on it with the killers in 5. And you're like, wait a minute, but you were attacked by yourself in your house with no witnesses. Why would that happen if nobody was there to prove that you were attacked by a Ghostface? That's the one thing. Well, there's a couple things, but that's the one thing I was thinking in the back of my mind. If they make her a killer, how are they going to explain that shit? If they try to even make that work, falls completely apart, man.
I agree. I really agree. And to that point though, and to Hollywood Guy's point here though, do you think that Jenna Ortega, do you think she'll shine in this movie? Like, are you excited to see her performance?
I am. I honestly, I mean, I think she's the reason most people are going to go see it. Beyond us, you know, Scream fans, most people are going to go because, oh shit, Wednesday's in a horror movie, and maybe they didn't even know about Part 5. You know, so I think she's definitely going to bring in a lot of people. Her, and I think I'm hoping Dermot Mulroney would be a really good addition. Maybe going forward, I don't know if he's going to replace Dewey or not, but I think he's. I like him as an actor, and I hope he. You know, if anybody of the newbies, I hope he survives. How about that? I'll say that.
Okay, yeah, hell yeah. I really think he's gonna shine too. I love Dermot Mulroney. Everything I've seen him in, I think he just kicks ass. Insidious 3 is one of unfortunately my biggest reference points. I you know how much I love that franchise. And I think he's great in that third entry, and I'm excited to see him play a character in one of my other favorite horror franchises, where oddly he has a daughter named Quinn once again, a constant between Insidious 3 and this movie, which is kind of bizarre, but I'm here for it. I'll take it as a reference, you know? Fuck it. I dig it, man. But yeah, I think Jenna Ortega, Dermot Mulroney from the new cast, they'll definitely shine. I think Melissa Barrera too. I think we have a lot of people, once again, I think trashing her right now, and I think after they see this movie, Sam's gonna be a fan favorite after opening weekend. I'm kind of betting on it. I'm kind of betting on it. I think we're gonna see a different portrayal from her. So Hollywood Guy, thanks for the $5 though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I don't want anybody to fail. So I hope that she rises to the challenge of being the new face of Scream. That'd be great.
And it's, it's hard. It's not an easy. That's not going to be an easy thing not easy shoes to fill, essentially. Especially with no Sidney Prescott here and all that. So I'm rooting for her. I hope she does a really good job. I really think this movie's going to focus on her character a lot, and she's got to be good if this movie's going to work. So I got my fingers crossed, man. I'm really hoping for it. We got ourselves a Halloween Ends fan in here too. John Smith, what's up, man? What's up? I'm so glad you loved it. I'm so glad someone enjoyed that movie. I didn't, but I'm glad people did. That's how we got to live life.
Yeah,
man.
that's great.
Good stuff. John, thanks for the $2. Appreciate that. DJ Ja the God is also here saying attending the fan event on the 9th. Can't wait. Nice. I'm jealous, man. I'm so take me with you if you can, please. DJ again.
You can. I mean, the fan event is like all over. It's nationwide. It's just like in theaters on the 9th. Are you not able to get tickets?
I have tickets for the 9th, but the fan event is like real late, and I think to my knowledge it was a 3D screening, which I can't do 3D. I don't know. It just messes with my head. So I have tickets to like a standard show, like I want to say like 7 o'clock or something on the 9th, if I remember.
Gotcha. Okay.
When are you?
You'll still see it before I'm gonna see it at 5, but you still see it before me because of the time difference. But yeah, I've got fan event tickets, 4DX, 3D, whatever. I also wanted to do D-Box. I might do D-Box for like my 4th screen. I have a tradition with the Scream movies. When I walked out of the first one, I knew instantly, like, oh my god, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I watched it again immediately. I went to the next showing, and it was opening weekend. Nobody knew about it, so it was easy to get tickets. And it's like second weekend is when it blew up, and everybody was going. So now I watch every Scream movie twice on opening night, just as a tradition. And I'm continuing with this one. I've got tickets for 5 o'clock, and then tickets for 11 p.m. To the first viewing is you're like, oh, it hits you in the face. Then the second viewing, you kind of soak it in a little bit more, like, okay, I can see what they're doing with this. So we'll see. Yeah, but it's only happened one time where I didn't like the movie, and I go, I'm never watching it again. And that was Last Jedi, where I walked out, I'm like, nope, I'm done. I never need to revisit this one.
That's how I feel about all the new Star Wars movies, man. I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm all right. I got 4, 5, and 6. I got those. I'm happy with it. That's Star Wars for me. Fuck it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna sleep on my first viewing because I usually do the same thing. Like, dude, I saw Barbarian last year. I was just really blown away by that one. Literally, like the moment I walked out, I bought tickets for the next screening. I was so blown away by that movie. But I think I'm gonna sleep on Scream 6 because I wanna see it. I wanna see the surprises. I wanna see what they have on store for us, and then I might see it like the next morning, like Friday morning. I might go and catch like a matinee show or something. I gotta soak it in. I don't want, like you said, you gotta get past the initial shock of it, and then you can really be able to analyze it on that second viewing.
Yeah, speaking of Barbarian, there's a fun Scream connection there. I was invited to go see a sneak preview screening before the movie, like 2 months before the movie came out, and I took my daughter because we looked at the trailer and it looked fun. Phenomenal movie, by the way. We're waiting in line, and this is such a Hollywood thing. This blew my mind, dude. Kevin Williamson walked past me and went into the theater. I watched Barbarian with Kevin Williamson, dude. It was crazy.
What? No fucking way, man.
He was, and a whole bunch of other people. I mean, Justin Long was there, the director. I'm blanking on her name, but she was the main actress.
Georgina Campbell.
They did a Q&A afterwards. Yeah, Georgina Campbell. Yeah, they did a Q&A afterwards. But in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, Kevin Williamson is like literally like 2 rows away. And then like a month later, I got to see Sick in a theatrical screening, and he was there for a Q&A. So that was pretty neat, man. I have my rant. I still haven't been able to talk to him and shake. I just want to shake his hand and say, hey, dude, thank you. And then that's it.
Yeah. Me too, man. Oh my god, like him, Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, Nev Campbell. I would just love to shake their hands. I just be like, thank you for doing this wonderful thing. I appreciate it.
Well, you might be able to, because they do conventions. That's how I met most of them. They're doing a lot of conventions now. So fingers crossed there'll be some somewhere near you real soon.
I'm going down to Cincinnati here in a couple weeks for, I think it's Horror Hound weekend, if I remember correctly. I don't think any Scream people are going to be there, but the Terrifier 2 people are going to be there, which I'm excited for. So it's something, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, hell yeah. I'm super pumped for that. One day I'll meet the Scream people though. It'll happen.
It'll happen. Yeah. They're going all over the place. So yeah, you'll get a chance to see them.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Kevin Alexander's throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much, Kevin. Saying, could you see this movie going down as a classic? Ooh. Master Chaos, I'll throw that to you first. Do you think that this could be a classic horror film, depending on how it's received?
Well, I mean, if you talk to fans of Friday the 13th, most people will say that Friday 6 is a masterpiece. Jason Lives is really fun. Who knows if maybe in 10 years, I mean, I consider Scream 4 a masterpiece. Who knows? I guess it remains to be seen. I guess, yes, the answer is potentially yes, but it's really up to them whether they fumble the ball or not. But absolutely, every movie has a chance to go down as a classic. I mean, Megan, I think the minute we saw her dancing, we're like, yep, instant classic.
yeah, dude, and that movie kicked ass. I was shocked. Like, I thought that was just like, oh, this is just going viral. It's just gonna be a TikTok thing. No, it's like actually a genuinely great PG-13 horror movie. I was like, okay, fuck. You never know. Yeah, you never know until you see something. I think, Kevin, is the real answer to that. But I just like you, Master Chaos. I put 4 up there very high. I love that film so much. I think Evil Dead, the Evil Dead remake from 2013. I consider that a classic horror film. I think that's a killer movie. It's really well done. Just because something's a sequel doesn't mean it can't go down as a classic movie. I think a lot of this. I think all the Scream sequels are great too. Like, I really enjoy all of them personally. So, but yeah, man, we'll just have to see, Kevin. That's the answer for now. in a week, maybe we'll know. Maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, Kevin, thanks for the $2.
We won't really know until maybe 10, 20 years from now. Like, what is the installment that people are talking about? You know, what's the one that keeps coming up when people like rank the franchise? I mean, I've seen when 4 came out, nobody liked it, dude. I was like maybe one of 10 people who really like was blown away by it, and now slowly I've seen 4 move up in the rankings, and it's making me happy. So you never know what's gonna happen. You know, sometimes you just have to let these movies marinate. You never know. In 20 years, someone's gonna say Halloween Ends is the best Michael Myers movie. It's gonna be the whole like when Season of the Witch came out. I don't remember anybody saying this is the best movie ever. People were pissed, and then now people are saying Halloween 3 is fun, and it is a fun movie. But I think we've had to let it marinate. We had to accept what it is and move past it. And I think, you know, that happens with time. You just have to give it time and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I've since watched Halloween Ends, and there are things that I like more about it, you know, and even though like my initial reaction was like, what the fuck? I'm definitely like, oh, okay, you know, this scene was actually pretty cool, you know, and I'm terrified that in 3 years I'm going to be like, this is my favorite Michael movie now or something, some crazy, you know, you never know. Opinions shift, man. Opinions shift. You never know. And it maybe that's how it is, and that would be wonderful. I think the more shit you like, that's awesome. You know, fuck it. We also got DJ here saying just did some location scouting for my fan film. Nice, man. Sweet. Good luck. It's not easy making. Good luck indeed. Not easy making anything. So good luck, man. Thanks for the $2. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Hollywood Guy's also asking some crazy question here, saying, what are your classic horror movies, like top 10? Master Chaos, I'll throw that to you. Just spitball. Is there 10 horror movies that you're like, these are classics, everyone's got to see them?
Oh my God. Jesus.
A heavy order, right? Big heavy
that's
question
a lot.
there.
Well, I also want to pick out movies that people haven't really heard of, that I think are really like fun. But also mention stuff that everyone knows. So I'll try to do like a brief overview of a whole bunch of things. Jaws, Monster Squad, Demon Warp. Demon Warp is a fantastic Bigfoot movie.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Come back to me. I'll do this is my top 3 for right now. I'll come back.
10's a lot. 10's a lot. It's all yeah. Man, so me personally, like, going off of what you were saying about like movies that I feel like most people haven't seen, Zombie from 1979 is like just one of my favorite horror films. I don't, there's just something about it, man. Listen, zombie fights a shark. That's fucking awesome. No digital effects. This is the late 70s, baby. We're not doing any of that shit. No, this is a real guy in a suit fighting a real fucking shark. That's awesome. Listen, I guess maybe I'm easily impressed, but that's fucking awesome. The score is one of my favorites of any horror film ever. The practical effects across the board are amazing. If you're just looking for a really good, like, just very squeamishly gross practical 70s effects, like, that's the movie for you. It's just wonderful from start to finish, in my opinion. That's my one I recommend to people that I feel like most have not seen, and it's a shame.
Oh man, Zombie's great. I mean, if we're going Italian, 100% recommend The Beyond. It's a great zombie film, but it's also sort of a supernatural kind of multiverse weirdness. That's a really solid movie, really, really gross movie.
That's also Lucio Fulci, right?
Yeah, that's Fulci as well.
Beyond?
Yeah, Fulci's got like 10 great movies, and the rest of his movies are really awful. But they've got some really incredible gore, like stuff that like would make most people vomit nowadays. But yeah, Italian stuff, there's so much to explore in that arena. Mario Bava movies, Kill Baby Kill, Bay of Blood, which is, by the way, the first body count movie. 100% recommend that one. It's in color, and it's so good. I'm not gonna give anything away, but it's one of the best. It's one of the I think it's considered the first real slasher movie because of what it does, but I won't go any further than that. So yeah, those absolutely explore across the pond. There's a lot of fun weirdo European movies that are enjoy. Life Force, Toby Hooper's Life Force is so
Life
great.
Force is really good. Life Force is very underrated. I've never seen Bay of Blood. That one's been on my radar for a long time. I've had that recommended by a few people now, and I've just never watched it. Hell yeah.
It's
okay.
great. It's really well done, and it's got one of the best endings. Oh, so good. Yeah, check that out. Dude.
Okay. Nice, man. Hell yeah. There's so many good ones, like Hollywood Guy. There's so many good ones. I think the big answer to this question is just give weird horror a chance. Like, if you're like, I don't know about this one, give it a chance. Like, just give it a chance. I get pleasantly surprised by things all the time. Things I don't think will be good that end up being great for some weird reason I just wasn't expecting. Inside from like 2007, super underrated French film. If you've never seen that, I love that movie. Actually, the guy that showed me that is here, Sean. What's up, Sean? Welcome. Also loves Zombie. Very nice. Welcome. But yeah, getting back on it though. Scream 6. Yeah. Next weekend. Do you have a read on who are killers? 5 killers. Everyone's a killer. Who do you think's our Ghostface this time around?
That's tough, man. I and I think I've heard you say this before. We don't want another Debbie Salt, and we're fingers are pointing at Dermot because he's the older person in the cast. That would be unfortunate if they did that. But then I'm looking at the cast and everybody looks so young. But then the cast of 4 looked young, which I really appreciated because I feel like they actually cast like high school looking kids for once.
Yeah. For once, instead of 25-year-olds, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like my daughter's going to high school now. Nobody looks like that. So I don't know. I'm 100% feel there's going to be more than 2. And we've of course there's talks. I've heard about the different masks that are in play. There's the cracked one. There's the white one with the bigger eyes or whatever. So is that a hint, or is it just one guy who has different masks, and maybe he leaves them at the scene of the crime? I don't know, because we've seen him on the ground. Ooh. So I don't know.
Like he's wearing, like maybe he's wearing a different killer's mask every time. You know? Like it's like here's Billy's mask, here's Stu. That's pretty sick, actually. I would be into that personally. But I'm right there
Yeah.
with you, man, about 5 people or like 4 or 5 people or whatever. I think it's definitely going to be more than 2, like without a doubt. And this is a bigger cast, it's a bigger cast than what we're used to. I think it's perfect setup. We got perfect setup for a 3+ killer movie,
What's I'm blanking on his name, but he was the dad in Ready or Not, and he's playing a teacher in this.
Henry Czerny, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Henry Czerny. I mean, you don't bring Henry Czerny in to read a couple lines. You know what I mean? It's like he's a pretty big name for him to be in the cast. It's not like, oh, we worked with him. Here's a cameo. He's gonna hand somebody a textbook. I don't know. That's kind of suspicious, bro. I think. But then again, that's Debbie Salt vibes. It's like an older person kind of thing. Gosh, it boggles the mind, honestly, because there's so many options. It could just be a whole bunch of young people. Maybe it's somebody who they think died, but it comes back at the end. Like, oh wait, weren't you killed? No, we had to fake my death so that we could clear this person and I could be Ghostface. I mean, there's so, you know what I mean? It's labyrinthine when you get into it. And kudos to the writers, to figure all this out, because if they deliver a really good surprise, I mean, that's all we really want, right? That's part of the fun, is to get to the reveal and see what the motive is and all that stuff. So,
right.
I hope they don't drop the ball.
I agree. I don't think that this is gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that obvious, because honestly, I don't have a huge read. I have like 4 people where I'm like, these people could be Ghostface, and maybe all of them are Ghostface. That would be a surprise, especially because it's more than 2. We've never seen that done before. I'm here for it. I think it'll be shocking to see 3 Ghostfaces on the screen at the same time. Dermot Mulroney's suspicious to me. Josh Segarra is really suspicious to me. He played a hooded psychopath villain on Arrow for a season, I guess. So I'm like, Listen, man, he would be perfect for Ghostface. He could slip right into that role. I'm like, listen, maybe start putting on your tinfoil hat, I guess. But I'm pulling from all kinds of places, even the CW.
I really hope he doesn't get typecast. Oh, he was a hooded guy in this one. Let's put him in Scream. I really hope that wasn't their thinking. But I mean, how cool will it be if the movie, I mean, we assume the finale takes place in that shrine, and we see all those like Ghostface statues, but they're not statues. They're people in hoods, and they all raise their heads, and it's like freaking 10 freaking Ghostfaces, and we get like okay, now we're gonna go crazy. We get like an M. Night Shyamalan flashback to other parts in the movie. We're like, oh my god, that was the bus driver. Oh my god, that was the lunch lady.
That's what M. Night Shyamalan's screen would look like. That's what his version of this would. Yeah.
Right. Like, oh my god, they were surrounded in killers the whole time. Like,
they've been watching us all this whole time. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of be down for that. And then you reveal this whole like, there's this super serial killer subreddit, and we've all been planning this, epic kill fest. But then if you think about it, if they're doing that, why wouldn't you go after Sydney? She's the number 1 target. Why would you bother with these characters that are tangential to the real story that inspired Stab? That's another hurdle that they have to sort of, not only jump, but successfully patch over.
And that's why I think they're getting away from the movie motive stuff. Like, I feel like whoever this killer is this time around, they're going after Sam. And I think it's going to be for her Billy Loomis connection. It's almost like that's haunting her. We see her even say that in the trailer, like, whatever it followed me here. I tried to escape. I'm on the East Coast now. But still, someone still knows, and someone's out there trying to kill you for it. I think that's got to be the motive. It's got to be something like that. It's like, we know you're Billy Loomis's daughter. You can't live for whatever reason. Like, they're pissed about it. I don't know why, but I feel like that's got to be the motive. They're wearing Billy Loomis's costume. They're wearing Billy's mask, his robe, whoever this is. It's got to be something to do with that, I think, without a doubt.
Yeah, but then it's like, why would they go after Billy Loomis's daughter? Wouldn't they worship her as like, oh my god, you have the DNA? Or like, maybe if we say Josh Segarra is like dating her or whatever, maybe his whole thing is, oh my god, I want to have a baby with you so that my baby could be related to Billy Loomis or some,
Oh,
way out
fuck.
thing like that. Like he's dating her because he really wants to put a baby in the baby Loomis genes. You know what I mean? It's like
He
that would
wants
be
more Loomises,
insane.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's really fucking creepy though, and I kind of
Yeah.
I like that. That makes sense for a motive involving Sam. It's really fucked up, but it works. And
Yeah.
once again, if we're we're advertising this is something different, is this going to be dark Scream? How dark are we going to get? I don't know yet. I feel like that's going to be part of the surprise. I love that. Personally, I really dig that. Speaking of that, though, AJ's throwing another $10 in there. Thank you so much, AJ. Saying Scream 6 promises carnage candy. Dewey got gutted. If this is the end for Gail, how do you think Ghostface will do it? My money is on a toss off of her balcony. Love the channel. You rock. You rock, AJ. Thank you. Master Chaos, I'll throw that to you first. Do you think, first of all, does Gail die? Like, is Gail making it through this one?
I hope so, man, but I don't know. I don't know. I felt like the trailer for 5 really hinted at Dewey dying, and that happened. And this one's really hinting at Gail dying. And absolutely, if she's on a high rise, it's New York. She's gonna be tossed through a window, and maybe it'll be that splashy ending where she'll land on a billboard of herself or something like that. I mean, if she's gonna go out, make it epic, man. Don't I think Dewey's death was a little weak. I think you gotta, if you're gonna take out a legacy character, make it hurt in a way that we're like, woof, that's maybe series best kind of thing. But I'm okay. I'm okay if she goes. To be honest, you just cannot touch Sydney, and please leave Kirby alone.
Leave my girl Kirby out of this. Come on, Ghostface. Yeah, no, dude.
Yeah.
You brought her back. Don't kill her now. I'm like, I can see her dying in this, but like, I don't know. You brought her back. Do something with the character. Don't just bring her back to kill her. I hope they do something with her. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm leaning towards she dies in this movie, but I don't want her to. I think Gail is the most interesting. She's the most interesting character, man. She started off being this like bitchy news reporter who's like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to write another book and make money off of it. I'm profiting off of all these horrible things that are happening to Sydney. She doesn't care, and now, like the Grinch, I feel like she's grown a heart 3 sizes bigger, and I don't know. There's been so much really, really good and really well done character development with her. I don't want her to just get gutted now. You know what I mean? Now that we've gotten her to this place, I feel like we can take it even further down different pathways. Don't just gut her here. Let's see what else she could do. Let's see what happens to her post Dewey. Now Dewey's dead. Like what's going on in her life? Has she moved on? Has she not moved on? Is she struggling with that? I want to see that. I think we could do some more movies with even more character development revolving around her. So. Yeah, I don't want her to die, but I do agree with AJ though. If she does, it's gonna be in that scene, and she's gonna get tossed off the balcony, and that would be pretty sick, man. I'm not gonna lie, that would be disgusting. AJ, thanks for the $10 though. I appreciate that, man.
What do you think about Kirby? Because her coming back is amazing, but they've got to explain it, right? Do you think they're just gonna like ignore it? Oh, she just survived, or you think they're gonna? I mean, I think there was rumors of a flashback at one point. Are we going to get a flashback to her being at her house and then the police come and take her in an ambulance, but she went to a different hospital? Or is she just going to say, oh, yeah, they just gave me a couple Band-Aids and then I was good? What do you think? What do you think they're going to do with that? 'Cause that's so up in the air.
It's one of those things where you can just write it off as, ambulance picked me up. They stitched me up. I was good to go. You can do that. I think I would be all right with it if you explained it a little, like just a little bit. But I think that they can play into that a little bit and make it affect the events of this film. I would love that. I would love a flashback scene showing how Kirby survived. You know what I mean? I would love to find out that there was more to it, or maybe Sam was across the street for whatever reason and she called the police saving Kirby. Maybe she knows Kirby. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that, but I'm just saying something. I would just love to have a little bit of something there to be like, oh, actually all these things were connected. Sam was in Woodsboro at the time, while all that was going on. When she talks about it in Scream 5, there's this weird pause between her and Richie. It seems like maybe she wanted to talk a little more about 2011 and everything that happened then, and she doesn't really talk too much about it. It's like, what's up with that? The last time this happened, it was in 2011. You know, what's up with that? What that delivery I've always thought was weird. I'm like, I think there's more to that than we might know. So I hope they do something with it. To short answer, that was very long-winded, but short answer, I hope they do something. I hope they don't just be like, yeah, you know, I was fine. What? Right. I saw you get stabbed a bunch of times in the gut, Kirby. What's going on here? You know what I mean? What's happening? Yeah. I hope they treat her well.
I agree.
We got ourselves a few more questions though. DJ is asking us about the Demi Lovato song. It's a decent song for Scream 6. However, I feel 9 Inch Nails would have been better. I mean, listen, I love Demi Lovato all day, but Trent Reznor, I mean, that's my guy right there. Of course I'll take a Trent Reznor song. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Is Demi Lovato appropriate for a new Scream movie?
I think she's absolutely the right person for this demographic, for what they're targeting, the young Wednesday crowd. Absolutely, she's the right choice. I don't know how many people, and I mean, most of you all know 9 Inch Nails, but I think the majority of the young audience is going to be like, who? So, I don't think they're going to play I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal in Scream 6, but that would be amazing if David Fincher directed it. But I absolutely is going to appeal to the, to the tween teen demographic that they're really hoping will be the next generation, going forward. So yeah, I think she's a good choice. It was a good song.
Yeah, I liked it too. I do, like, me personally, if I'm making the new Scream movie, yeah, I would, if I had $35 million to fuck around with, I'm getting Trent Reznor to make a song. Yeah, of course. But I do agree with you, dude. I think that they're hitting the demographic that's most likely going to be a big, maybe even a majority of the people seeing this new film. It makes sense. Yeah, no, I agree with you. But yeah, if my version of Scream, my slasher movie, I'm getting some metal music in there for sure. I love it, man. I love it. Good stuff.
I think what they should do, and if they don't do this, it's a fail. They've got to play some classic New York songs. The Frank Sinatra, New York. You have to capture the spirit of New York. You have to do some classic and maybe the opening credits after the teaser, and we see the city. You got to play that dun 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 dun. You have to, just to get us in the mood. And if they don't, I mean, I feel it's a little like, you kind of like, why set it in New York then?
That.
And that's another question. Yeah. Like, why set it in New York? Why New York of all places? They just wanted a big city. What? I don't know. Maybe they threw a dart at a board and landed at New York. I don't know. Has that been explained? Why New York?
My thoughts on it are, they set up in the last movie that Gale Weathers is, doing her morning show in New York, and this one seems to be very Gale focused. I feel like that was the plan even from the get-go, even when they had, Neve Campbell signed on, that it was, I think that was certain about 6, if that makes sense. I think the next one was always going to take place in New York with her, and we also got set up in 5 that Sydney lives in Chicago now, so I think I know where our seventh movie is taking place if that happens. You feel, I think you feel me there, but I think it makes sense for that reason. But once again, I feel like it's just going to be a missed opportunity if they don't do that. They don't have any New York songs, and 2, if they don't make fun of Friday Part 8 a little bit. Like, listen, I don't need to see I don't need to see Ghostface punching off somebody's head. But give me something, you know what I mean? Some kind of Friday reference.
I think at the end, Ghostface is going to be bathed in toxic waste and become a baby. I think that's the ending.
I would, dude, I wouldn't even be mad. It would be so ridiculous. I'd be like, fuck it, man. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take the ridiculous commentary. That's so fucking funny, man. Because the sewers fill up with toxic waste every night. I mean, that's just we all know that, right? Exactly.
New York, yeah.
Speaking of the, like, an opening scene though, and once trust me, this is all gonna work. We were not talking about an opening scene, but I have a way to connect this. I promise. Ryan's saying, okay. How do you think the Mackenzie storyline will fit in? I've always been curious about that family since the OG Scream, and I don't know. So I'll fill you in just in case you're like, what the fuck? What's this? What's Ryan talking about here? We've kind of got it confirmed that our character who dies at the very beginning of the movie is someone from the Mackenzie family who's in New York for whatever reason. I think it's going to be Samara Weaving personally. Do you have any thoughts about this? Because this would theoretically be someone related to Liv's character from the last movie, the one that Amber shoots in the face.
Absolutely, Samara Weaving dies first. She's the biggest name. She's the biggest female name in the cast. So absolutely, she's the opening kill. No question. She's dead. Yeah. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was a Mackenzie. That's interesting.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think she's going to die first. And I feel like that the reason they're doing that, like the reason she's like maybe a sister to Liv, I guess would be my guess. I think the reason they're doing that is that's going to be the indication that Ghostface is back. It's like, oh, someone got killed who's part of one of the families that's been affected by Ghostfaces in the past. I think it makes sense that would be the inciting incident, essentially, that gets Gale like, oh fuck, Ghostface is back, Sam gets notified or whatever. That's my guess, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and again, there has to be a connection to the story at large. I mean, the Mackenzies are involved, so there has to be a connection to the beginning, and the beginning is Billy and Stu. And is Sam the connection? Is that really all that it is? They're trying to just, they're just trying to knock off the survivors. I mean, is that it? And they're trying to maybe work their way up to Sydney, like she's the final girl, so you have to wait till the end. In a way, I kind of just explained it for myself. Like, I get it now. Okay, if the killers want to take everybody out, but Sydney's the final girl. You can't kill her first. Kill off these people, and then you go to then the movie would be fucking genius if that's the way they go with it.
And I see that's pretty cool. That's a cool motive. It's like we're trying to finish the job. All these other ghost faces, they failed. We're gonna clean up the mess. Y'all left the mess here. I dig that, and I once again leading into your point there. I think it's perfect setup for 7. For Sydney's return, set it in Chicago because she's still there. You know what I mean? She's probably during the events of this. Hopefully she doesn't die in a car accident or some stupid bullshit. She's living her life peacefully in Chicago,
I hope so, man. Hopefully. Well, one thing I don't want to see is like the killer's Mickey's uncle or Roman's roommate. It's like all like all these like tangential people coming together. Like, nah, man, come on. Like, I think it worked. It worked in the first 4 movies. I think we're good. Let's. I was okay with just being we're a fan of the movies, and you guys are fucking it up, so we're gonna do it better. That's fine. I accept that. I think it made when you talk about toxic fandom, I think it made people who didn't like Part 5. It was sort of a patch on them because it's like you can't not like 5 because you're a toxic fan now, and I think that was a little unfair. But I think the motive, for the most part, I think it was solid. They're crazy, so yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I think that's the motive always falls back on that. Essentially, is that they're crazy at the end of the day. Whatever their reason for killing people, really, what it is that no, they're just insane. You know what I mean? They're losing their minds about something, and in this case, it was that the new Stab film sucked. Yeah, and it's maybe not my favorite motive across the board, but it's like I think it works. I think if it works for what they were trying to say,
Yeah, oh for sure. Give me 1 second. I have a family emergency. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All good, dude. Don't worry about it. Yeah, cool. Well, Ryan, thanks for the $5 though. Thank you. ZZM's also throwing 5 out there, saying I keep feeling like it's either Gale or Kirby that both won't leave this movie alive. Either of you agree, or is my gut feeling of this not reality? Ooh, oh man, Master Chaos would love this question. I think. Yeah, dude, I kind of feel you. I kind of feel you there because I don't think that this is going to be a safe movie where you can listen. You can say what you want about 5, about how oh man, Dewey died. That was crazy. I can't believe it. It was a shock. You're right. Like absolutely nuts. I was not expecting it. But I think my thing with 5 was. They do that, they built Billy. Oh my God, Sam is Billy's daughter. Crazy twist, A lot of it feels safe in the way that it still feels Scream. It still feels like something this franchise would do, and it's something we've already seen technically. Like Randy's death in Scream 2, I would say is equivalent to Dewey's death in 5, because it's shocking. You're not expecting. Randy's part of the main group essentially at that point, and when he dies, it's shocking to me. It's like, oh my god, holy fuck, they killed Randy. He's a beloved character. I can't believe they did this. I feel the same way about Dewey. Like, it's shocking, but technically this franchise has already done that before. It feels Scream to do something like that, to set up this character, making him seem like, oh, he's untouchable, not gonna get killed at all. It's totally fine. And then bam, you're like, oh shit, wait, he just got his guts are all over the ground. Oh man, he's not living through this, you know? Usually Dewey makes it. I don't think that's what's happening. So ZZM, to your point, I think it's tough to say right now. I do feel that one of them may not make it through this movie, but I will say that out of, like, if I had 3 people that I'm for sure are going to survive, though, I think Sam, Gale, and Kirby are maybe my 3, because I think Kirby's in here to set up the whole world building thing. I really think that's what her purpose in the film is. Otherwise, why is there an FBI agent here if it's just, typical serial killer? I don't know if that calls for an FBI agent or not. I don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert when it comes to law or whatnot, but that's that's just my guess. I'm assuming. Oh, what's up, man? How's it going? Everything good?
Sorry about that. Yeah, everything's good.
No, you're
apologies. Good. But I'm here. What did I miss?
All good, man. All good. So ZZM is asking us, do you think that do you think they're saying it's either Gale or Kirby that's going to die? Do you think that they will both make it alive out of this one, or do you think one of them or both of them's going to die?
I think probably Gale. I think they're going to hang on to Kirby. I mean, again, if we're thinking monetarily, Hayden is way cheaper than Courtney Cox. So, and in a way, they kind of boned themselves because Dewey, David Arquette would have done it for free. He loves this franchise so much. He would have come like Ghostface in space. He would have been in that one. But now they got rid of him. So I have a feeling, I think Gale's gone, which is a shame. But I want Kirby to live. I really do. I really think that if you're going to bring her back, let's have more of her character, not just a couple scenes, and then she's gone again. It's like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, I agree. I just don't want her to. I just don't want to be like, oh, Kirby's back, and then immediately kill her. You know what I mean? Give me some kind of purpose with the character. Give me something. Gale, if she dies, I love the character development with her, but I do feel like if she dies, I think I could be okay with that. Like that, it makes sense. Like I think it would be like, okay, Gale died. That fucking sucks, but like it makes sense. I think her character has completed a really cool arc, and if she died, I'd be like, oh, I could accept it. Kirby, though, you brought her back to life, and if she does nothing in this movie and she just dies, yeah, it's gonna be fucking dumb. It's like I need a little more than that. So ZZM, thanks for the $5. I appreciate that. But just some more questions with this movie, though. Like, do you think this one has potential to be like the best sequel? This is something I've been going back and forth with people for a while about. Like, I feel like this one is going to be so different. It's going to stand out one way or the other, good or bad. Do you think that leads to like a really good sequel? Maybe one that's even the best? I don't know. What's your take on that?
I mean, yeah, every movie, like we've talked about, it has the potential to be a classic. Or could this be the best sequel? No, in my opinion, because there's no Sydney in it, so it can't, in my opinion, be a true sequel. In terms of like the best. Yeah. So no, I don't think. In my mind, however good it is, I'll love it. I'll be happy it exists, but I don't think I would ever consider it the best. Unless there's something we don't know, and maybe Sydney is in it. But I don't know. With all the bad blood that's been happening, I seriously doubt she's in this. I don't even know if we're gonna get like an end credits Marvel type thing where she picks up the phone. I don't know, but I think it's gonna be good. I hope it'll be good, but I wouldn't say best. I
mean, like I said, yeah. And to your point, I think there's gonna be something missing without Sydney. It's definitely gonna feel a little like, oh man, that's that. I don't know, just. And maybe Sam fills that void. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt for now. But I don't know. I'm definitely like a little like I'm gonna miss her. I think in this movie, it was even nice in 5 having her run around. She had a limited presence, but it was still like she did something. You know what I mean? She was still there. It was cool to see her. I think just the first shot of her walking with her kid or whatever. It was just exciting. It was just exciting to see Sydney back on screen. I also want to thank, just real quick, AJ gifted 10 memberships just a second ago, and that's crazy. So thank you so much, man. 10 memberships, dude. That's insane, man. Holy shit. Thank you again, AJ. I really appreciate that. Oh my god. And also, Ryan's asking us another question, saying, I heard at one point before he was listed as Detective Bailey that Dermot Mulroney was supposed to be a Mackenzie. So maybe he's involved with the opening scene, is what you're saying.
Well, you know what's interesting? Didn't he say that his daughter gets killed? And if Samara is a Mackenzie, there you go.
So is that last name a fake then? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, we'll have to see that. I'm not 100%, but thank you for the $5 though. I do appreciate that. Oh yeah, but I'm excited for it. I think that the New York backdrop has to play into some of these sequences. What do you think about that ladder scene, where they're crossing the ladder from building to building?
You know what that reminds me of? When I first saw that, I'm like, oh, dude, they're trying to do a Scream 2. You know, with crawling over Ghostface in the cop car. They're adding a suspenseful scene in the middle of the movie, and I mean, honestly, I liked it the first time I watched it in Scream 2, but every consistent time that I've seen the second one, that part drags for me because I know what's gonna happen. So the tension is a little. I'm like, okay, this scene is long, man. So it worked the first time, but I think it's too drawn out. I don't know how the latter one's gonna work. I hope it's really good. It looks great. I just hope it's not lengthy. You know what I mean? Like where it's like, okay, just get to the point. We know that no one's gonna die. We know that blah 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 blah. But yeah, the first time it's probably gonna work like gangbusters. But you know, you watch a movie something like this, you're gonna watch this shit 10, 20 times. I watched the first one over 100 times already. You know, it's like you sort of have to build these movies to be rewatchable, and having moments like that. I don't know. Again, I'm getting in the weeds technically as a filmmaker. I feel like that slows down the pace, but it's a great idea, and I hope it's a phenomenal scene, and I really hope that it's not one of those like blue balls thing where nobody dies, you know, and it's like, oh damn it, like, you know, it's like so perfect for like somebody getting splattered. That'd be great.
And it would be such a different kill for Ghostface. You know, like Ghostface has thrown people off of balconies before. Okay, sure. But has Ghostface ever knocked somebody off of a fucking ladder? You know what I mean? That's connecting two different windows. Like, that's insane. I would love to see somebody fall, like, 4 stories or whatever that it kind of looks like, all the way to the ground. That would be insane. And not to have a knife kill, you know what I mean? There's blood on the background of the walls and shit, so like there was a struggle beforehand. We'll probably get some knife kills and some attack scenes, but man, someone's got to fall off that ladder. Like you can't tease that to me and then not do that, especially if it's what you're saying, where it's going to be a little more drawn out. Like I think we're going to see Sam completely cross the ladder and it's going to be tense. But then, you know, if we get another person on that ladder, they better fucking fall off, dude.
Absolutely, and look, I was one of the people who was like a huge fan of Ghostface using different weapons. Obviously, the knife is iconic; he has to have it. But I love that he's got a shotgun in this. I mean, that's kind of exciting. It looks like he kills like 4 people in that one scene, so that's pretty cool. You know,
yeah.
Shotguns, great. Swords, whatever, man. You know, maybe even like some like New York type stuff, like a manhole cover. He smashes somebody's head with it. I don't know. You know. I don't even a taxi. Maybe he drives a taxi into somebody. I don't know. They have to use the city, you know. I think, or he hits somebody with an apple. That's too much. But you know what I mean.
A big apple. Yeah, it's mm-hmm. It has to be a comically sized. That's insane. Oh my god. Yeah, no, but I totally agree though. We're in New York City. You got to play with the environment a little bit. If there's no environmental kills in this and it's all just knife stabs and stuff, I'm going to be kind of disappointed. Like, dude, you have so many different things you can do. If it's throwing people off of buildings, off of ladders, I'm seeing the setup like in front of a subway car too. You know what I mean? There's so many little opportunities I'm seeing just from the trailer. I hope they capitalize on that.
And I really hope we see the play because isn't there supposed to be like a stab musical or something that was like hinted at in the posters? I would love. Oh my god, that is awesome. I mean, talk about meta. That's the other way to go. A Broadway show? Shit, yeah, man, absolutely. And then maybe Samara Weaving's character. You know, maybe she's playing, Casey Becker. I don't know, but I think that would be really damn cool.
Yeah, dude. I'm right there with you. And we got this poster back in December, which if you look at that bottom right corner there, you see this little thing that says "Wrongly Accused the Musical." What's up with that? You know what I mean? I feel like our opening scene is gonna be kind of like Bruce Wayne's parents kind of scene, if you know what I mean. Like they're walking out of the theater, they go into the back alley and they get fucked up. I think that's what happens to Samara Weaving here, personally. I would love that. I think that would be sick. Maybe she plays Casey Becker. You know what I mean? Maybe they're reenacting the first movie. That would be fun. It's not just Stab again, where it's like, oh, we're Stab 9. Here we go. We're doing another one of these. They might do that in this movie, but I just hope it's not a focal point, just like how every other sequel has done already.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, New York. You gotta play off of these elements, Broadway shows and the whole kind of Big Apple mystique. If they don't, then I mean, you just set it anywhere. I mean, I think LA probably would have made more sense, but then Scream 3 is there, and Scream 3 had a weird vibe. So, but that was script based. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a beautiful city, and they take advantage of all those little elements. It could be, one of the most inventive ones in the franchise, and that's just the possibilities are exciting enough that if they don't do that, like we mentioned the whole Halloween thing. Halloween in New York is crazy town, man. I mean, it is nuts. Almost everybody dresses up. It's nuts with parades. If you don't have Ghostface, like high-fiving Michael Myers or something like that, you know what I mean? Or like killing somebody in a Jason costume. How perfect is that? Like, you have to do shit like that. If they don't, that's a missed opportunity, dude.
I completely agree, man. And once again, just speaking about the locations in this movie and playing off of that, the shrine is maybe the coolest set piece we've seen so far from the trailers and teasers. Haunting you, $10. I appreciate that. Thank you. Is saying the shrine might not be everything. It could be just an outpost for a secret society with like CCTV feeds all over the US with other ghost faces. Something like Hostel or Belko experiments. Oh shit! So we're getting real dark here. This Ghostface cult is all kinds of fucked up. What do you think about that?
Well, doesn't I may have misheard it, but I could have sworn Kirby says in the trailer, I've been looking into Ghostface murders. So there's gotta be more than the Woodsboro one that just happened a year ago. So maybe this is a thing. Maybe it's just I mean, if that were a thing, then I think they probably should outlaw the Ghostface costume in general. Nobody should sell that shit. You see it running around New York, but so absolutely. I mean, I think that's an interesting way to go with it, that they've just somehow inspired these people to embrace their love of movies and make them a reality. The only problem with that is I feel you water down the story too much. Then it becomes, well, there could be ghost faces anywhere. Oh, there's a ghost face in Kansas. There's a ghost face, in Hawaii. And then you could do spin-off movies with just some random people in Hawaii get killed by a ghost face. And then it just doesn't feel as special, like the core of these movies, whether you believe it or not, it was Sidney Prescott and what happened to her mom and Billy's snap. That was the chain reaction. I wouldn't want to see random Ghostface killers all over town with other random people, because to me that feels like now you're talking about direct-to-DVD, direct-to-streaming type movies that are just, filler. And I don't want to do filler. I want this to be really rich. This is the only horror franchise that has tried to be consistent and have its real consistent world. And if you fracture that, you can't ever repair it. We've seen that with Halloween, Friday the 13th. You can't fracture that perfect DNA that was set up from the original, because if you do, your franchise is just going to be Hellraiser, Children of the Corn, that kind of stuff, and I would hate for that to happen.
Yeah, I think the other side of that's also just part of the DNA of Scream is like the characters. You know what I mean? You gotta set up really good characters. It can't just be new people every single movie. that's just part of what this franchise is at this point. I do agree with you there. I wouldn't want to just like, oh, after this movie, we're just going to do random Ghostface sightings all over the country and it's just going to be a new group of people, whatever, every single time. Because I think they got to build characters through a long series of movies. And that's what I love about what Radio Silence is doing right now is they're doing that with new characters. I don't feel like I know these characters that well yet, but maybe this movie changes that, you know? And I think if they're going to continue these movies into the future with more ghost faces, yeah, you have to build that side of it as well. You have to have good characters. You have to have characters where you're just like, these people are as good as the killer. I'm not just rooting for Jason Voorhees to kill a bunch of stupid camp counselors. I'm also like rooting for the final girl. I want her to live and move on to the next movie. So I think that's got to be in there or it turns into something else. You know, it's no longer Scream. I do agree with you there. But I could see this franchise going on and doing more stories. Just you got to keep that consistent, or it just turns into Hellraiser. It turns into Friday sequels, which are fun. That's their own thing, but that's not Scream. You know, I agree with you there. I feel you, man. Thanks for the $10. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, I think that while this movie is going to step into some new territory, it'll still keep a lot of the wonderful things we love about Scream present in this. Do you think it goes a little too far? Could it go too far off the rails? Are you seeing that in the trailer, or do you think that no, they still you would still see a lot of Scream here? It doesn't just feel like a slasher movie, like a random slasher movie at this point.
Again, remains to be seen, but look at the trailer for Halloween Ends. That looked awesome, and we had no idea where it was going. Who knows? They absolutely could go too far off the rails, you know, and misjudge the audience. But I hope they don't, and I feel like these people are smart enough to know what Scream is and what makes it special. So I hope they don't. But absolutely, we could walk out being like, what the fuck were they thinking? What is this? And then if that's the case, I mean, even if it's good, I still want to come back and chat with you about our afterthoughts, because I'm sure it'll be like, we'll be blindsided regardless. Oh my god, it was a masterpiece, or oh my god, this Halloween Ends is a masterpiece compared to this thing. You don't know. We won't know until, you know, a week from now. But yes, they could absolutely botch it.
Oh God, I hope we're not saying that. If we're saying that, man, I don't even know. That's gonna be bad. That's just gonna be straight up bad. But with that thought, though, is there any other horror movies this year that you're just like really pumped for? You just can't wait for them?
Oh gosh, no, honestly, Scream was it. I was excited for Exorcist, but then I saw Halloween Ends and I'm like, meh, yeah,
right.
that was down to the clown for that one. Megan really blew me away. I thought that was a fantastic movie. I'm just looking forward to being surprised. I wasn't a big fan of Cocaine Bear. I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought it could have been. I think I read your review. I think we both agreed that it could have been more. It could have gone harder.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, I think for what it was just a really fun, dumb movie. But yeah, it probably could have done more. I gave it like a 2.5. like star review or whatever. I enjoyed it for what it was, but the opening is really rough to me. Like the first act was like the setup, how they set up everything, I thought was really rough. But I liked the ambulance scene onwards. I thought was great.
Yeah, the comedy didn't work for me. I feel like, I mean, I get it, but this could have been a really insane, crazy bear movie, and it was the comedy sort of really diffused it for me. But you know, in terms of what's coming out of horror-wise, I don't even know. I haven't really been... So I've been insular, you know, making my own stuff and doing my YouTube shows. But I haven't really kind of kept up with what's coming. Dead by Daylight was announced. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to that coming out.
What are you doing on your page? Like, what are you covering over there?
Well, right now, the channel has become a morning show. I want to be the Regis Philbin of movies. So most people stream at night, like we're doing right now, but I'm streaming in the mornings. I got a morning show called Coffee with Chaos. It's about an hour-long show, and I do everything from movie reviews to covering Hollywood news and you know, stuff coming out, and physical media titles that I want to put on people's radar, and shopping vlogs and things like that, which I've kind of baked in and unboxing. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. but it's kind of all the fun rolled into one digestible little episode. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. That's what I'm doing over there, and I'm having a ton of fun with it because people aren't used to having morning content, and so I'm enjoying that, and yeah, just chugging along with that one.
Good, man. That's that's why we do it. We do it because we enjoy it, so that's good. That's really good to hear, man. And I remember being like, I was so upset when we would stream on your page and you'd be like, oh dude, I can't get my page monetized now. And it's like, and then you were like, I don't know if I should start over or not. I know you pulled the trigger on that recently. But everything's going good with the channel essentially now. You kind of recover from that.
Yeah, we monetized. The subscriber count wasn't where it was from the original channel, but I'm chugging along. I have a lot of loyal supporters and subscribers, and I'm having a blast, and I'm trying to be as informative and as fun as I can, so that the audience has a blast. And I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, we do it because we love it, and because we like connecting with people. And we love movies. We love movies so much. And having an opinion is just an example of the fact that you love. If you don't have an opinion, you don't love movies enough. And we're not all going to agree, but that's all right. That's okay. Because at the end of the day, we all still appreciate the same art form. And that's what's important, that we understand how special all that is.
I really like that. I agree. And I think we have a lot of people that are very passionate about, like, if it's Scream, if it's Evil Dead Rise, whatever coming out soon, and they want it to be a certain thing. And we have a lot of people expressing very different opinions, but I think that's wonderful. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people who don't agree with me. A lot of people are yearning for Scream to go back to how it was, back in the first movie, where I'm kind of preaching like, let's take this down a different path. Let's see what happens. So overall, it's there's a love and respect for everybody in this space. You know what I mean? We're all Scream fans at the end of the day. That's what's important. It's not that we have a difference of opinion. It's that we all love these movies. You know what I mean? They're great, and I love talking about them. I wouldn't do it every single day if I didn't. So that's wonderful. No, I really like that. Hell yeah, man.
It's a horror has always been there for me. I'm an only child, so horror is a huge part of my life, because it's I'm sure, like most of you watching, found comfort in scary movies, and Scream was that first one. It was kind of like, wow, it's speaking to me, it's speaking to us, the horror fan, and I think that's really what most of us latched onto. Like, it wasn't just random kids getting naked, nothing wrong with that, getting killed in the woods or whatever. It was, there was a story, and there was a lot baked into it. I mean, if you go back and watch the movie analytically, there's so much baked into that script. The whole thing with Cotton Weary. I mean, we see Cotton Weary for like 5 seconds. They didn't know that he was like, and they hired a real actor. Liev Schreiber wasn't just like a stand-in that they threw in there. So like they knew Cotton Weary may play a part. So let's hire a guy who's an actual actor. Not just like, hey, the catering guy, come here, just walk and go sit in the car. There's and so many little things like, what happened to Sydney's mom? There's so much intricacies there. I love a movie you can go back and rewatch over and over and over and over again, and see all these special little things. I love that, and I love discovering those things, and I love sharing those things with people like yourself, Jake.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Once again, I just think that's why we do it. It's great, and Scream as a franchise, has always spoken to people like us, and I think it's wonderful. So I just can't wait. I can't wait for another one. Anytime there's new Scream movies in the future, I'm there day one. So it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time for horror movies and just movies in general, man. This month is gonna be insane. Holy shit. I don't know if you're a John Wick fan, but we got John Wick 4, man. I love those movies.
Yeah. I didn't like the first one. I didn't get what the hype was like. It's okay, but like, it felt too fake to me. But I really started to love it in the second one, and then the third one I think is my favorite. So yeah, I'm excited for the next one.
I thought I was the only person who thought that as well. Like, I rank them like opposite of release pretty much. Like three's the best. I think 4 is going to be even crazier, hopefully. So Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, dude. Mastermind Killer's throwing $2 out there, though. Thank you so much. Saying, honest thoughts about Gale, lives or dies. I know we already kind of answered this question, but like, just want to throw it out there again. Master Chaos, just Gale predictions.
Dies. Yeah, dies. I think she's gone. As much as I would hate that, I think they're gonna do it. I think she's gone.
Me too, and it's gonna be sad, I think, but it oddly makes sense. I think maybe she's come to the end of a character arc, even though I personally feel like they could do more with her. This does weirdly feel like maybe the place to do it, because she's gone from like just done a 180 as a character, gone from like bitchy news reporter to now kind of has a heart, doesn't really want to report on all these things, but maybe she is. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I got to see it, I think, before I really have a strong opinion either way. But I'm leaning towards I don't want her to, but I'm also leaning towards I think they're probably going to, if that makes sense.
And I think she should die a hero too. Like maybe she stops Ghostface so that the girls can get away, and she gets killed, but she slows Ghostface down enough for them to get away. Kind of like what Dewey did, but in sort of a more heroic way than like a goofball way. I think she deserves at least to go out not like a rag doll, but as like a hero, and that's 100% would be the complete change of her character. Is like now she sacrificed her life for somebody. I think that's powerful. I think that could be really impactful to the entire franchise.
Absolutely. And the thing about the implications that would mean for her character, you know what I mean? Like, she would never do that if we were talking Scream 1 or 2 Gale. Like, that would never happen. So for her to do that here, I could see people criticizing it for being the same way they took out Dewey, but it's more shocking if it's Gale to sacrifice her life to save the younger kids here. I would be like, this is not, like, I can't believe it. I can't believe Gale did that. Like, I would never expect that from this character. And I think it would be pretty interesting. No, I agree. AJ's also throwing $10 in there again. AJ, thank you again, dude. Thank you. Holy crap. It's also saying that Max, I'm going to butcher that. Max Laffy. You seem like you got it.
Yeah, there you go.
What you said. Yeah, there we go. LaFurier, I like it. Is reportedly the stuntman playing Ghostface in Scream 6. Check out his stunt reel. He's a beast. I'm excited to see the energy he brings to Ghostface. Nice. Ghostface parkour ninja Ghostface.
Yes! I would love that. Holy shit. But then, of course, it turns out to be like a 5-foot-tall girl. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, what's up with that? Hang on.
I could have sworn he had muscles there for a minute. What's going on?
That's what's tough about Ghostface, right? Because like they typically have a stunt dude doing all the actual Ghostface kills and all that, and then mask comes off. It's Emma Roberts. What's up with that? You know what I mean? No. Yeah, but I dig it. I don't know. I mean, if we have this character playing Ghostface, though, does that indicate that it's going to be like a bigger dude or just like a bigger person in general that's Ghostface in the movie? Well, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, since that really hasn't been consistent?
No, I think this just they wanted Ghostface to do certain things, and this was a Canadian stunt actor, and like, hey, you're Ghostface. I don't know that unless we see him doing something specifically, stunty, like a John Wick moment or something. I just think they got a guy. I can't imagine, especially if they know who all our killers are, tiny women, or is it Josh, Segura, who I'm pretty sure is taller than everybody in that cast. I guess I don't know. I mean, for the most part, Dewey was killed by a pretty tall Ghostface, but we know that the Ghostface revealed was not as tall as we saw in that death scene. So I don't think it means anything necessarily. What do you think? You think it might mean we're getting some stunty action?
I don't know. I just think if what we have seen Ghostface do is the thing that's telling to me. Like we've seen not whoever, this guy, I couldn't tell you what he looks like, but just from the way AJ describes it seems like it's a bigger dude. But the thing that's different about Ghostface in general this time is not only is it like the character looks bigger, they're also like doing things like dodging shotgun blasts. They're ripping a shotgun out of the guy's hand and using it flawlessly. So they have gun knowledge. You know what I mean? So they're not like, it can't just be a normal person. I think you can rule out all of the college kids as being Ghostface this time around. Like, I genuinely don't think it's any of them because it wouldn't make any sense. Like, are you telling me this college kid who, what, fucking 20, 21-year-old maybe? You know, you're telling me they're running around grabbing shotguns like they're like they have military training? No, it's got to be one of these older guys, I think. Like Josh Segarra, Dermot Mulroney, maybe Henry Czerny. We haven't seen him at all in the marketing, but
yeah, I think he's looking even more suspicious than ever before.
Do you think it could be him? Because like I'm like, man, I haven't seen him at all. You know, and why are they hiding him from us? You know, is it short screen time? I mean, is he the killer? What's up? Yeah. Well,
like I said, you don't hire him just to say a couple lines. I have a feeling there's some hidden something with him because he's an amazing actor, number one. And, you know, even if he's friends with these guys, I doubt he would just come out to do a couple of scenes. And as a teacher, I can imagine, I think he's a teacher, right? Like a principal or something. I don't know if that's been established.
So I don't know if this is 100% confirmed, but the last I heard, he's a therapist character, maybe for Sam, because we see her sitting on that couch in the one point in the trailer. I think she's in a session or something, you know.
Perfect. If it is a therapist, absolutely he's the killer. Done. I'm predicting it right now. he's the killer. He's one of the 10 that we're gonna see.
One of the 10. Yes, absolutely, man. I think that's cool. I'm here for it, man. It would be cool to see him be a bad guy in Ready or Not, and then also, you know, Radio Silence's new thing essentially. So I'm down for that. I think he would be a good Ghostface. AJ, thank you so much for the $10 though. I really appreciate it. I'm so pumped to see Ghostface back in this new movie, man. I don't know. I'm just really excited. It looks really good. I think it's going to be good. Child of the Corn is also here throwing $2 in there. Thank you. Saying, what's good, fellas? Scream 6 is a week away. Yes. I'm absolutely stoked. Yep. Thanks for stopping by, Anthony. I appreciate it. But do you have any like last, like, in conclusion thoughts about Scream 6? Is there something that you just really want to harp on once again?
Here's the thing with this entry. Out of the entire franchise, this is the one that's make or break, especially for this new iteration. If it's Halloween Ends bad, that's it for Ghostface for quite a long time. If it's, you know, at least maybe Halloween 2018 good, then I think people are going to want more Scream. We're going to get a 7. We may get an 8. Who knows? But I feel, to be honest, I feel 7 is a no-brainer. I think they're, you know, like they basically hinted in the 5th one in the commentary that they were already working on 6. So I have a feeling 7 is a no-brainer unless this one tanks. And for it to tank, it's gotta be awful. And I can't imagine it'll be awful unless they do certain things like kill Sydney off camera. You know, or the killer motive is stupid. It makes no logical sense. Those things obviously would affect any franchise, but specifically Scream, I think it would hurt it irreparably. And we probably, if it fails, we're not going to see Ghostface for a long time, which is unfortunate. So my fingers are tightly crossed, but as long as they don't kill Sydney off screen and give us a motive that works, then I think I'm gonna be cool with it. And I'm hoping to be more than cool with it, but at least going in, I'm already telling myself I'm gonna like it. And it's up to the movie really to, you know, in a sense, give me a story that's rewarding enough that I say, okay, I like what you guys did with it. I appreciate it. You know, more please. But again, like we said, they could botch it completely, and then we'll be talking about it for months. Like, how could they do that? How could they do that? You know,
right?
I would hate that for that to be the case, but yeah, I guess those are my final thoughts. I'm very excited, but still very nervous. But not as nervous as I was, you know, initially when 6 was announced.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the thing I'm nervous about with this movie is that they follow a similar path to what David Gordon Green just did with like Halloween, where it's like killer first entry and then just diminishing returns. You know what I mean? Like I love Halloween Kills. I think it's a great movie, but it is definitely a step down from Halloween 2018. And then ends, yeah, just in like many, many more steps down. But I really feel like this could be the requel franchise that breaks that mold. Scream has always been there to do that, and I feel like they could do it once again here. Where I haven't been super impressed with a lot of the other like requels out there, like the Jurassic World movies. I don't know. I love Jurassic Park, but those just don't do it for me. Yeah, Star Wars, whatever, man. I don't know.
Right.
Those are pretty awful. I just want this to be the one where it's like, this is different. This is worth my time. This is like, I'm not just here for the name. You know what I mean? I'm not just here because this is a new Star Wars movie. I'm here because this is a good movie. You know, even if I wasn't a fan, I could walk into this blind and be like, that was fucking awesome. I can't say that about most of the requels out there, which I think is a shame. I hope I can say that here about Scream. They've told a good story. They've kept consistent with the creatives involved, which is always a big plus when you're telling a big story like this. And also one of the reasons that at least I think some of them haven't been good. Like you have people all over the place doing the new Star Wars movies, and yeah, no shit that one continuous story sucks. Because they have different people doing every movie. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my god, yeah, everyone tries to pull it in their own direction. If you have one team just taking it down one path, it's going to be way better every single time. And so that's why I'm really excited for Scream to be the requel franchise to break that mold. And I think that they're so close to doing it. This movie has to be a banger, though. This movie has to top 5 if that's going to be a possibility. But yeah, man.
Absolutely. I mean, for people who hated 5, this movie could change their minds about what happened in 5. You know, for me, or people who loved 5, this movie could turn them against that movie because of how the weird direction that 6 takes. I mean, I think for a lot of us, I mean, speaking for myself maybe, but Halloween Ends kind of made me go, nah, I don't want any more of those movies. I'm not gonna. I'm never gonna watch 2018 again, or Halloween Kills, because I know where that story goes. And I'm just not interested in that world. So I hate for that to happen, but it could potentially lead that way. We've seen that modern horror movies are very problematic. To pick a simple term, you cannot predict what they're gonna deliver. In the 80s. Pretty much everything is fun as hell. You're gonna have a great time. Nowadays, you never know what you're gonna get. And I think as long as we walk away with a solid Scream movie, doesn't have to be the best one, but at least one that is a good follow up to 5, then I think we're golden.
Hell yeah, man. I agree. We just need something solid here, a solid new direction for the franchise to keep it going. And otherwise, I don't see the point of making these movies. You know, don't make this a Star Wars. Don't make this an episode 7, 8, 9 situation. Let's tell a good story here. That's a possibility. Yeah. This concept is fucking awesome. Like the idea of your best friend deciding to kill people for some reason and not finding that out until the end of a movie. I think it's a great idea. I think we can keep this franchise going for a long time if we really wanted to. But it all depends on the current state of the franchise. You know what I mean? It all depends on what if they can keep pumping out good new ideas or if it's just starting to get derivative. You know.
Right.
Child of the Corn is also throwing $2 in there again, saying, should Halloween 2018 have been a standalone film? Like, now I would say yes, you know? Is that rough?
Yeah.
Is that too...
No, I'm kind of with you there. I mean, in retrospect, yeah, but I think they had their heart set on a trilogy, but the problem is they didn't have a trilogy planned. So, I mean, I can't imagine that. Oh, and by the way, part 3 is about this random guy that hasn't shown up yet. What? Then bake Corey Cunningham into the plot in the first one. What the hell? So, yeah, I think probably a safer bet would have been, let's do a standalone film. And then, it was successful. Okay, let's do another one. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I would land. I would say standalone film is probably always a good idea for the first one, but build in elements that you can, continue with.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you're gonna do a trilogy, you got to plan that from the beginning, or it's just not gonna. It's gonna fall apart, just like how Halloween does, just like how the new Star Wars movies did. I would even go so far as to say that yeah, the Jurassic World movies I don't think had a clear direction, even though it felt like it did. You know, like I was expecting like dinosaur apocalypse movie by the third film, and that's not what they did.
Yeah.
It did not turn into the Jurassic World, which is like, then why the fuck did you title him that? I don't know. You know, now I don't know. But Child of the Corn, yeah. I mean, now I would say yes, but I think Kills had some cool things that they tried to set up, but it didn't. It went nowhere. You know, it's I don't know. All the flashback stuff, you know, I thought that was really cool, but it goes nowhere. It's not important at all. Child of the Corn, thanks for the $2 though. Yeah. So once Master Chaos, we're going to be wrapping up here, but where can everyone in the live chat find you here on YouTube?
Master Chaos Official, I believe, is the name of the new channel. Hopefully, you'll link it in the description. And like I said, I do Coffee with Chaos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the morning, and I cover everything. We recently just talked about Scream. We were talking about Creed 3. We do a box office breakdown every Monday. And then every Friday we take a look at the box office and the news of the weird and wild when it comes to cinema. We will be talking a lot of Scream next week, and I will have my review next Friday on that episode in the morning. So yeah, Coffee with Chaos, come check us out. And we do a lot of panel review shows, which by the way, Jake, I'll reach out to you about, where I bring together a bunch of YouTubers and we have themes. I have one about sexy time movies called Super Booby Movies. Ooh. And we review some some racy kind of erotic thrillers, and we watch them off watch them off air, and then we talk about them on screen, like we get reviews. Then I have one about really bad movies called Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel. We have a lot of those, so I'm basically doing panel reviews and the Coffee with Chaos morning shows, and I'd love to see everybody there if you can make it, and if Ghostface doesn't take you out. That's yeah. Watch out for that.
They're all over the country apparently, so be careful. I mean, look at his cool glass, guys. Come on, you telling me you don't want to subscribe to his channel? He's got cool Ghostface glasses. Go
I do.
For that reason alone, go subscribe. Come on. But dude, like seriously, if you're ever talking of like, I don't get to talk about weirder horror movies on this page as much. So if you got like something where you're like, maybe Jake would like this, like hit me up. I'm there to talk about the weirder shit all day, every day. So hell yeah, man. Good shit. Well, we're wrapping up, but thank you all so much for hanging out and talking Scream with us. Master Chaos, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Oh man, thanks. It's so awesome to be here. It's been too long since we've chatted. I've been in my pre-production mode on some movies I'm working on, so it's nice to reconnect here. We're just freaking days away, dude. This is insane. We're on cloud 9 now, and hopefully we'll stay that way. A week from now, I hope we're not like depressed and checking into a hospital. I really hope, but boy, I really hope this one is a good one. And it's hard to go in with that big of expectations, but dude, I look forward to hanging out and chatting again about the aftermath. That's a good way to put it.
Hopefully we're not picking up the pieces, you know what I mean? Hopefully we're celebrating, you know, hopefully in a week from now, but who knows? Anyways, man, yeah, absolutely. We'll have to get you on here and we'll talk a little bit about it after we see it. But until then, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.